it is very much declining, isn't it? Oh yeah, you can see here, last month's production of this lumberyard was not entirely efficient. So that is a bit of a worry. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Rise of Industry with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful industry empire. In the last episode, we did a good bit of work on, logistics, and we also did a good bit of work on pre-provisioning for some future products of ours that we do want to take care of. And, as you can see, we are currently very much in the process of researching heavy pulp, because we've in fact actually set up all the paper mills for producing said heavy pulp, and I mean we do have a distribution route to Webams here in order to sell that out in the near future. The thing is only we didn't have the product researched yet, so we're very much taking care of that today, first things first, and then we will have to see. We do, in theory, as far as I remember, already have all the lumber yards going for ourselves that we do need in order to supply these factories with enough wood, which, you know, we can also probably check just to make sure that we are going to be producing enough lumber here and everything is running on a proper schedule. So that's the first thing on our list. Then we also have got this paper roll contract right now, which could be actually very, very nice indeed. So we do need to look at that one. And then after that, we will kind of have to see which way we want to go in the game. Because, well, on the one hand side, if we look up here and we check out Waterworth here, it's at a valuation of 41.65 million, which I'm not sure if I start scooping up stocks if this price may even be rising just based on the stock demand that I'm creating. So it may be an option for us to just go and start earning some money, saving some money, maybe then take out some loans and go and try and take over Waterworth so that we do take a few more permits, which would allow us to, well, increase, increase our area of operations, you know, increase where we can actually go and do business and also take on parts of another business, which would in turn, of course, also increase our cash flow, hopefully. So that's being the one option. The other one being that we go and look at upgrading Panowitz, where we are currently on the brink of the advancement of our village, but we would have to either go and deliver all the materials needed, which, as far as currently we don't have the materials, but we would have to look at if we can make them and if we could otherwise then also sell them out to somewhere different, or if we just want to pay the money in order to upgrade the village and get a new shop. So that's just two options right there. We will have to determine that as we go today. But for now, just quickly, before we get started, if you're new around here, if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm, and also make sure to smash that subscribe button, of course. We're very much trying to hit 1,000 subscribers currently, and every single person truly does help out a ton. So thanks so much if you did that. And without further ado, let's maybe first things first get into that contract auction over here. In general, we do currently very much have these paper rolls being made up here. Now, in terms of a distribution route, I mean, Thornstetten is kind of a bit further away. Well, if we get 250% for a price, I'm kind of feeling we would be happy to take that. So we're going to go and put down a bid. I do not feel that anybody else will put one down, but we'll see, I suppose. And then, gotta see, I think we can maybe just get a quick streak going to over here, and then, you know, we can have things delivered by truck. Now, you know, I mean, this distance really is not ideal, but I'm not gonna go set up an entire train line for this purpose now or something, unless that makes sense economically. You know, thinking about it, where do we again set up railways? Here. Right, so if I right click, I can stop doing this. I cannot stop clicking now, right? We need to watch out with that. So the track for this purpose will cost us a good 100k. like one way, like back and forth, right? And then we have warehouse for another 69. So I'm not sure that would make that much sense. I'm also not sure how much more sense the road transport makes in terms of costs. And this is one thing that I think is kind of a bit hard to gauge in the game, because it doesn't really tell us, you know, how costly a specific transport is. You know, you can see stuff like dispatch costs here, but it's just aggregated over everything. I don't really, like, if there was some sort of figure of, like, a truck costs this much per in-game hour used or something, and then, like, it takes the trucks this many in-game hours to reach a destination, and a similar statistic for train, that would be beautiful, because that way I could just easily gauge what makes more sense economically. Now, like this, I don't know, I'm unsure. I guess we're keeping things as is and just going to do things via streets, but it looks very much like we're going to get the contract. And we did very much get the contract. So let's go and just set up a road, I guess. And I suppose we're going to do things like this. We will go and set a new destination for Tier 1. Right? Yes. Paper rolls. We will go and choose Thornstetten as our destination for that purpose. And we'll kind of set our min kept to 4 here, maybe, so that things kind of get sent to Thornstetten with priority. And then we'll just kind of see how that one goes. I hope that way we should easily be covering all of that. Now, the leather contract is looking nice and easy, to be honest here. Only 4 are left, and like a lot of time, because I'm thinking that the purple bar is like the amount of time that we still have, so should overall be quite fine indeed. That said, the heavy pulp is now also done, and we're only 1 leather out, so you know, things are going beautifully. But with the heavy pulp being done, then we do need to set up some of our production facilities. You know what I'm wondering about right now is why do we have 3 paper mills here for the heavy pulp, but only 2 for the paper rolls? Oh no, we've got a 3rd one right here. Don't mind me, just a bit blind, but what I'm also wondering about is why do we still have air pollution down there when we technically have an air purifier? I know the air purifier is technically kind of fresh still, but I'm just a bit worried about it. So let us go and check out the pollution heat map. I guess it may just still be working against it a bit and just building up that pollution protection area over time. Let's see. We'll come back to that in a bit and just see how things develop. That said, we've got these paper mills. So all these paper mills are, of course, going to go and do heavy pulp now. Could have also kept them offline until I actually started having them produce things. Luckily, at least, the warehouse didn't start just randomly delivering things out to them, did it? Yeah, so that's on. Beautiful. And those paper mills are then set to paper rolls. Now, we do have missing input here. Oh, yeah. That is... So, things haven't been set up because these warehouses are not in the auto logistics zone of the warehouse. So, I guess we do things the old-fashioned way, which, you know, in the end is totally fine. We will go and set the wood up first to all of these paper mills. And then the question kind of becomes, how much wood do they need? They do need 2 per production cycle. So I think we can set the max sent to 4 for each of these. And we'll set them in kept to maybe like 4 as well. Cool. Then the other question kind of becomes, Did we set up a water siphon newly to actually make sure we've got enough water? Oh no, right, we have the water well here, okay. So the water well should hopefully keep us covered then in terms of water required. Wood is set up for the paper mills. Let's do the water as well then. So for water they only need 1 unit. So I think... ooh, where did my destination go? That is unacceptable. But... oh. Ah. Alphabetinol. Right. Don't mind me. So we're going to go choose all the destinations here. Just like that. And then we'll set the max send here to 2 as opposed to 4 because they do need a little less for their production cycles, and we'll set them in kept to maybe like 3. Should be fine in my mind. Cool. So that's the water setup, that's the wood setup, that's everything being sent for the heavy pulp then. Then we do of course kind of need to choose that warehouse again as the out destination from the factories, because of course, once more, they're not in auto logistics range. That one should be a bit easy. I mean, we're just literally sending everything over. Totally fine and easy. And then in the warehouse, we do also have to go... how's this set up again? Warehouse 6. So I guess warehouse 6 is that one, yep. So what I guess we will do is set a new destination here for tier 1 produce, being the heavy pulp. And we are going to choose warehouse 6 as our destination, do it by train. And then that's going to go on its merry way, and warehouse 6 is going to receive this. It should be in its auto destinations, I think, the heavy pulp. It is indeed, and that should be it. It should be. We'll see if it is, but hopefully should be fine. Now, R&D is technically done, so before we start going again on the time, what I do want to do is maybe quickly look at the products here that we needed for the upgrade of Panowitz, because we needed wall panels 13 and 15 bricks. I mean, it's a bit of a tough one, because, you know what, we'll kind of have to see. As far as I can tell here, I mean, wall panels we would be able to continue selling to the town centre if we went for a construction goods shop. Bricks I don't see, which is a worry. And I don't know, was there any way to see? No, I mean, global market, all good and fine, but there's no way to see what we can sell locally. So let's just quickly, I guess, go through the options. I do not think, in general, that there was anything that required bricks just yet. In terms of any stores, I mean, farmers market we can maybe skip. But you know, all the hardware stores and everything. It's not many construction goods shop yet either. So yeah, the bricks we would not be able to sell out. The wall panels we would be able to sell out straight to Panowitz. So let us see what the requirement is in terms of research. And then I guess we can make a bit of a call on that. What you have to keep in mind, right, is that the bricks part, in the end, is quite cheap. The wall panels, not as much. So for the bricks, maybe it makes more sense to just, you know, pay the money straight out, because, you know, even the production setup would already take as much money as the bricks cost us, and then, you know, it doesn't really make sense if we can't sell them out to somewhere. The wall panels on the other hand side, we might be able to save a good bunch of money just producing them ourselves. So let me go to the tech tree and we'll go and have a little closer look. So I guess carpentry, yeah, carpentry is what we want here. And I do not know what that second requirement is. Oops, no, wait, stop. I don't want to research it. So I mean, first things first, we would need wooden planks. Then we would need that, which is already putting us at 2.2 million. You always got to keep in mind, though, we can make profit off it after the fact. And then we would have 2 carpentries that we would need, which, you know, don't really know the frequencies there either. And the other stuff is whatever the part to the left is. So I mean, this part is pretty straightforward, right? It's just wood, which well, just wood is also kind of a thing of definition because don't really have that much space remaining for lumber yards, but we would probably be able to squeeze it in somehow. But what in the world is that other thing that we're seeing there? Let's kind of search through the tech tree, maybe. Just oh, here. Home goods. Copper tubing. Why would we need copper tubing for walls? Or wall panels? Doesn't make that much sense, does it? I guess if you want to sink them into the wall ahead of time, but seems a bit weird to me. That said, I mean, that is what it says that it needs, so copper tubes is probably a bit difficult. I mean, we do have copper right here, but I feel that without coal, we can probably not do much of anything with it, can we? Unsure. If we maybe go to where's like steel or something? Metallurgy, right. I mean, steel kind of says that it requires coal. So maybe we can actually work with the copper without having to employ coal here? But the thing is, I mean, this would be quite the complicated thing to pull up in the end, right? So we would be at 2.6 million bucks in terms of research costs for a start. Then the interesting part is here that it says able to produce copper tubing at glassworks and smelter. So I'm wondering if it's two different buildings that are both able to produce the thing. If we look here, oh no, it's the same thing. It says glassworks and smelter. Use iron, sand, and copper to make heavy industrial products like steel, glass, and copper wiring. Yeah, the thing is, we can't really gauge what it needs in terms of production process. Oh no, recipe book. Haha, I forgot about that one. The question is, does it show us unresearched stuff? Factories. Let's see. Glassworks and smelter. Copper tubing. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. So we only need 2 units of copper, which is interesting because that means we can actually do something with the copper that we have in our region. I did not really think that was going to be the case, but evidently it is. So that's quite nice. And we don't need any coal for it. So maybe good reason to start mining copper. I mean bricks, you know. Now, what does a sand collector even need? Coastal tiles along any body of water. So, I mean, technically we could even be making bricks. And I guess we could be making glass, which I think we'd been talking about this previously. So, that's already, honestly, like another 2 business trees that we can get into. Because the other thing was toys here, right? And we had the marbles, which well, no, actually we can't. Because for glass, we do need coal. So, that one, I guess, not an option. Oops. I don't know what map I just turned on, but it's some map. How do I get rid of that again? No clue what this does, to be honest. Just mashing R right now. Anyways, so I mean, this would be an option. And well, I mean, if we tally up the cost of all the gatherers and everything else, we would have, at our current prices, right? Keeping in mind that we do have that PR event still going on, it would kind of make a lot of financial sense also to branch out into other things now. Copper mine 100k, which, oopsies. Oh, it's not intentional, but I guess we finished the contract in the meanwhile. So copper mine's 100k. Let's say we need 2 of those, so we're at 200. Then we've got factories, of which we do need the glassworks and smelter for 276 grand, which is quite a lot. Then we're at 476, and then we would need like 2 carpentry centers, so say like another good mill for a basic setup, and then we could probably kind of expand on that and all, and ooh, okay. So I mean, generally speaking, we could probably invest a good like 4 or 5 mil into it. It's tough. I mean, we would get an option to sell things out, but I want an automotive factory, just saying. Right, but I mean, that would be an option to upgrade Panowitz that way, and I'm honestly still a bit doubting that we could that easily take over Waterworth. You know, I'm really kind of worried that at the end of the day, the takeover will be a bit harsh. So let's maybe do things like this. Let us go and check that all the production here is working fine. That we can make money off of the heavy pulp. That all the stuff is being exported just fine. That we do have the important good overheads to get things going. And when that all settles down and we have made some extra money, I'll make the decision based off me probably also watching a YouTube video or two and like taking over companies and all, just like which way we're going. Because I think we've got some good options here now, you know. We do also, well, technically have the marbles, but we would need coal, which I'm not sure, you know, maybe we could somehow buy on the global markets as well. But no, on the other hand side, you know, we've got like coal down here, for example, which is I'm not sure who owns this. Who does own it? Who's got the... Wait, nobody's got the permit? I'm confused. Nobody's got the permits, so those buildings are not, like, owned by anyone. So, I mean, that's something interesting to keep in mind. Then, on the other hand side, you've got to keep in mind that this is 14.5 mil, and the auctions it was only always ending up to be, like, 10 mil or something. So, interesting. And then you've got... Didn't we have the auction for this place? Very confused by that. Region's worth 30 mil. Jeez. How much is Panowitz worth? Bloated. Oh wow, okay. Doesn't tell me. Of course. Alright, anyway, so let's go and get things going for a second. We'll kind of make sure that everything fills up down here. And then we'll go on from there. I mean, another thing that we also still have is the glass, and we... not the glass, the gas, rather. And we could probably actually make use of petrochemical products by going for an upgrade in Panowitz. Through stuff like rubber. Well, actually, rubber, no. But, well, I mean, refined oil on the one hand side. What products were really petrochemical here? Cardboard, by the way, would be nice. Would be a good way to actually use our heavy pulp. I think that's advancing it some more. But you know, that there would be some good options one way or another to sell things off. So, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see on that part. I'm still not entirely sure. But we do not do any R&D just yet. This is all quite fine with the contracts and all. Haven't delivered a bit of paper rolls yet, which is concerning to say the least. But no, the trucks are on their merry way. And there go the first 2 paper rolls. So let's see. There's a lot of trucks on their way. Hopefully should be fine. Then we do also have 17 milk to Webams, which should be doable based on the products that we're making right there. So let's go and bid on that. And hopefully just straight out win the bet. No, never mind. Damn it, part corporation, go away. It's my contract. I want it for myself. Always glad when they listen, I guess. So we've got 17 milk to deliver out as well, which shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world. I think we'll just do it like we did the leather the other day. we'll literally just go to farm produce, or livestock rather, and we'll go and choose milk, and we'll go and choose webams. Like that. And, you know, they can just split it up between what they deliver to Panowitz and what they deliver to webams. Should be totally fine. We've got a lot of time. We only need 17 delivered, so I'm quite happy with that. But with that said, I mean, we're making some money. The pulp seems to be flowing. If we do have a quick look at our warehouse here, the wood is at 10 units, 9 units, 8 units. Ew. It is very much declining, isn't it? Oh yeah, you can see here, last month's production of this lumberyard was not entirely efficient. So that is a bit of a worry. Same deal, in fact, for that lumberyard down there. Which means we do really want some more saplings planted in order to make sure these guys hopefully do get the efficiency going that they need to get going, because that is quite the detrimental issue. If we can't get enough wood, that'll slow our productivity, and it'll not really make us lose money, but it'll also keep us from making as much money as we could. So good thing that we picked up on that. The issue is until the saplings actually grow, it'll be a bit, so we'll probably be short on wood here for a bit of a period, but you know, luckily it's not gonna be that bad in the end for the time being, I hope. And in general, we should be making some pulp. Let's double check if we are, maybe. Haven't really seen any. But yeah, no, the production is running fine. The paper mills do have some stuff on storage. So for the time being, I hope it should all be good. We are making some good amounts of money. I am not seeing any major alerts, so I'm quite happy with that. And we're just within a little bit of time at 3.6 mil. So quite good indeed. Now what we do have to see is that the PR event is gone. So that is maybe then a major factor in determining that we don't go for the wall panels just yet. Because really, I mean, we may as well wait for the next PR event to go for some heavy expansion on factories again. So let's see about that. I think for the time being, for today, we ended off right here with everything nicely running, with everything done, all the pulp is flowing, all the contracts are being worked on, and everything is really working out nicely. And then in the next episode, I'll be getting back with you. I will have watched some videos on company takeovers and rise of industry, and crucially, I think the question if, well, if we start buying up stocks, the overall price rises of the individual stocks and we have to pay more every single time, or if it's literally the same price for every individual bit of stock. And then based on that, we'll determine if we will actually go for the takeover on Waterworth. I think Parts Corporation... Well, I would honestly kind of prefer Parts Corporation, not gonna lie, because, I mean, they're a bit more in, like, the branch of industry I would love to go to, with all, like, the coal and steel and everything else that we can make. But, they're another 10 mil, and kind of tight on budget. So we'll have to see which one of the two. But, you know, I would love to. Let's see. I will determine that with you at the start of the next episode, if we will go for it and who we will go for, or if we'll just expand on Panowitz for the time being, and then we'll make that call and we'll kind of just go through with it, and hopefully it'll go fine and we won't go down burning and screaming for help. Fingers crossed. So let's end it off right there then for today. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're all looking forward to the next one. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure to smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.